and I thought, whoa, there must have been a pretty big accident or something, because Bog Avenue is a major thoroughfare, and you don't just go blocking the whole thing off because somebody stalled out or something. I figured I'd turn on the radio just in case I could find out what was happening out there. Well, that's about all there was on the radio at that time. Apparently, and this is really weird if you ask me, but some guy had gone and kidnapped his girlfriend earlier in the evening. This was out in the Central Valley. I mean, it's more than 120 miles away. And they came all the way over here with the cops on their ass the whole way. Then they got off the freeway at the Bog Avenue exit and turned down our street. I mean, my girlfriend's street. And must have driven right by her house. Damn! I mean, what are the odds of that? Then they must have run out of gas or something, because they got out of the car and broke into someone's house and were holed up in there right now, just a couple of blocks away. Just totally surrounded by cops, and then when I heard about it on the news, I looked out the window and saw the helicopter hovering overhead, and the searchlights from somewhere panning the sky. The weird thing is, it could have been my girlfriend's house they broke into. It could have been anybody's house. From 120 miles away. You could never see that one coming. On the news, they didn't know if there was anybody home inside that house. They didn't seem to know much of anything. They didn't know who the guy was, or who the girlfriend was, or what was really going on. But how could you really know what the hell was going on in a situation like that? You could get the facts, but you wouldn't really know, if you know what I mean. The last thing I wanted to do that night was kidnap my girlfriend. In fact, I was driving away from her as fast as I could, without getting caught in a speed trap. High Park is a pretty mixed town. It's got a rich part and a poor part, and the tricky part sometimes is telling the difference between the two, especially at night. This is because there is so much money in the town that they fixed up the poor part too, so it doesn't look so poor. I mean, it's got lots of street lights, nicely paved sidewalks, clean streets, planted trees, and even the storefronts aren't too shabby, although they are the usual assortment of check-cashing, lottery-selling liquor stores and corner markets. Whereas the richer part has got no sidewalks, hardly any streetlights, and everybody's hidden behind stone walls. There's a small downtown, but mostly everybody works and shops in College Town, which is only a few miles away. The town itself isn't famous for anything. It started out as a suburb, and it pretty much remained that way. Over the years, it had seen its changes of population. The rich part was handed down from one white generation to the next, while the poor part went from Okie to Irish to Black to Hispanic to Laotian and Vietnamese by now. All that really changed in the poor part was the signs on the corner grocery and liquor stores. Lately, though, there had been a housing market boom all over the greater Bay Area, and there were all sorts of better-off people moving into the poorer part and fixing up the little bungalows that were crowded side by side. On the streets you could see the new for sale signs and the picket fences blooming, and even smell the paint jobs, while right next door it might be squalor and filth hidden out in the back. It made for certain tensions on the street and in the stores. Are you one of us or one of them? They call this kind of place a bedroom community, whatever that means. At night there's almost no one on the street, except for the occasional neighbor out walking her German shepherd, or a drunk out nursing his beer. It's a sleepy little town. Not too bad a place to raise a child. The schools are said to be okay. The housing prices, though, are getting ridiculous. Well, it's the same all over. That's about all there is to say about the town. You wouldn't even know it existed, except that on the freeway, the Bog Avenue exit sign says Bog Avenue, High Park. When David Wayne Bailey told Karen Wong to take that exit, she did. After all, the guy had a gun pointed at her head. Henry and Valerie Roth of 314 17th Street had been married for 11 years. Almost everything in their house